So what you now need to do with your business ID and your little model for your business is to think about how are you going to grow it. A growth mindset in business is thinking about how can I create more value, and how can I grow the value that I'm creating for my customers or employees or owners, investors, whatever your stakeholders are of your business. And there are many different mindsets to growth in business. And I think it's, first of all, important to be aware of them. But secondly, it's important to really understand them so that you can use them in the best possible way that's going to help you. So I'm going to take you through this and break it down a little bit. So the first type of growth mindset is when you got a product. Think about it as coffee, right? And what you want to do if you want to grow that business is that you want to sell as many cups of coffee as you possibly can. That means attracting customers into your little coffee shop and finding a way of serving them really well. This is called volume, right? And usually it's measured in something called market share. How big of the coffee selling market have you got? Volume. The second mindset not only thinks about volume, it also starts to think about how can we serve this customer in a way that they're not only buying coffee from us, they might start buying other things. For example, they might come into your coffee shop and with the coffee and they now buy a cookie, right? But if you get really good at making coffee and people really love your coffee, they might want to be able to buy the roast that you're making for your coffee. Or they might come to you and say, hey, can you teach me to make coffee when I'm home? And you're now selling them a little course in how to make coffee. And you're also selling them some kits that they need, some stuff, some tools that they need for their home to make good coffee, not only when they're buying from you, but when they wake up in the morning or when they're at the office or whatever. So that's a second way to think about growth. Not just your product, but everything around your product can now be used to grow your business. And the third way to think about growth is how you can then attract people that are not just interested in coffee, but they're interested in the way you make coffee. You might take responsibility for how the coffee is sourced and produced, making sure that all the people involved in bringing this coffee to you is fairly treated, or it's produced in such a way that it doesn't damage nature or the environment. Or you might come up with ways of producing the coffee so it's organic and therefore tastes better. So you're not just selling coffee, you're also now selling the ethos behind coffee, how it's produced and how it's consumed. And you'll start to attract people that share that purpose and values with you. That's the third mindset. But the fourth mindset also takes into account the relationship that you have with the customer over time. I mean, if you can get a customer coming buy coffee and that customer comes back again and again and again and again, because what you're doing is so superior to everyone else that, as a customer, I simply don't want to go anywhere else. This is called longevity of spend. And this is probably the singular most effective way to grow your business in a fast way. So your task now is to look through the growth mindset and connect it with your purpose as a business. And when you do that, you really, really come out with a very strong mission statement for your company. Why is it here? What is it that is doing that is so different from anyone else? What's your right of existence beyond making a lot of money? And how are you going to do that to your customer in a way that is unique and different to anyone else?